And we're on.
All right.
Hello.
Fan-freaking-tastic. Hey, I was looking at the opening on the screen, and it looks like the animatic was slightly off in the frame. Is it? Yeah, are we off in the frame?
Let me see.
Let me know in the live chat. Is the frame off? Can you only? I'm looking at the screen. I can only see Alex.
Oh, I can see all three of you, or all three of us, all three of y'all.
Oh, let me
There's
see.
so many of you.
I can fix that.
Yeah. Kevin Paul is saying the left half is only visible.
Nobody wants to see you.
I noticed it with the animatic.
Yeah, let me see. All right, well, I will work on that while we go ahead and get started.
All right, so apparently he's Eugene's going to sort that out. So welcome back, horror fans, to the Week in Horror podcast. It is the only podcast that wants to play a game. This week we are covering select horror films released February 7th through February 13th. Thank you all so much for joining us. I am JL, and with me today are Eugene and Alex.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, so good to be back. Back in the land of the tech people.
Yes. Had some internet issues there because it's all crazy here in Texas at the moment. Let's take a look at who is in the live chat right now. We've got Jessica, who is always first. And to anybody out there, Jessica G is our stream queen. She streams horror films in our theater all the time, and she does a really awesome job. She'll typically do really big blocks of movies. And so you get, she'll do whole franchises. So definitely check those out when we have those. You get those announcements if you're a member of our Discord. The link is always in the description. And of course, Jinju, good to see you. And Charlie Welch, yes, here at the beginning. It's good to see you. And Kevin Paul, thank you for giving us the heads up on the screen, how our framing was a little bit off. We will get that sorted out here shortly. Crafty Keela, thank you so much for dropping in, hon. It's okay. We know the time difference. You got to get some sleep over there because we know you're working your tail off out there. Oh, so good to see everybody. You see, Eugene. Jessica says, Eugene, nothing is wrong. Homie lied. I didn't lie. I'm not lying. I promise.
Well, I shifted it over, so it should be good now.
Okay, maybe it's just me.
No, if you read in the chat, they were just. Stephen Paul is Stephen?
Kevin. No,
English.
Kevin.
Dude, Paul was like not talking about the screen.
Let me see. Okay, yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, we look good. Okay, it's just weird because I can't see you guys. I can only see Alex. So yeah, so I legit on my screen. I legit only have Alex on my screen.
That's all you need, baby. All you need.
Yeah, but I'm thirsty for Eugene.
How you doing over there?
Hey,
you just stuck with my smooth voice.
Jessica G says, "Not you. Someone was she just sent me a message. Not you. Someone was trolling you guys." Oh, fantastic! You're so nice of us. So nice of those people to troll us. All right. So, Alex, back from the land of no internet. How long were you out of internet?
Bro, so people started posting on Facebook in our neighborhood on Sunday night that the internet was out. And I was like, oh, that sucks for you because mine's definitely not out. And then I went to bed and woke up and karma bit me like a bitch because I had no internet from Monday at like 9 a.m. till Friday at like 5 or 6 p.m.
You said something. I mean, it was it. The internet gods were like, oh, yeah, it's fine. You know, couple people go, oh, really? You want to test us?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, it was rough, man, especially with kids and stuff. Like, I like to let them at least watch a couple minutes of Netflix or something while I'm cleaning the house, but it was nothing. So it was like board games and candles and...
There you go, old school fun.
No, it was funny though, because the youngest one, the 3-year-old, her power went out at school right down the road from us. And she comes home and she goes, the internet went out at school. and it just showed me like where kids are today compared to when we were 3. It's just a thing in their life. I think it was invented the same year, or released the same year I was born.
For them, when the internet goes out at school, it's equivalent to a snow day for us back in the day. Well, we can't seem to do anything. Nobody can learn, so...
We do without TikTok.
What about these textbooks? Nope. Just go home.
Those are books? I thought they were bricks.
Blowing the dust off the textbook.
I haven't opened one of these up in it's been 84 years.
Yeah, okay, we're old.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Dale's the oldest, but
Yes, I'm old. I'm old as fuck. Damn. Oh, but it helps. It was amazing. I was on Discord earlier today, and I had a magnificent conversation with a bunch of people. It was so weird because everybody's familiar with me. On my personal channel, I'll go out and I will engage with other people. We talk about just and various other things. And I was in a conversation. I was in a Discord channel or a Discord server where people talk about that stuff, and we wound up talking about horror. Because we're talking about horror movies, and I'm basically just deep diving. People started, and then all of a sudden, people started asking me questions like I was on a freaking AMA.
Come on, internet, cooperate. Okay, we are all reconnected and everything.
Bopperig.
Okay, yeah, there it goes. Jinju says school books look like the book from the Army of the Dead.
The Necronomicon.
Yes. Oh, this is so old. Old and full of ancient wisdoms. Jessica, I think we were buffering. I think we're. Are we still? We're still good.
And then you sit there and wait for the.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of buffering. I think Eugene's internet is hiccuping just a tad, but I think we're okay.
All of us, like it's one.
Well, everyone but me.
Yeah. Well,
that's what yours is next.
5 GB internet.
Don't you put that fucking evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I pay for this good shit. I want that. I can afford it. I want that good internet shit. You give me that shit. I'll pay my dealer in advance.
That's right. You got some internet there? You got some internet? Let me get a dime of internet.
You got that good Mbps? Give me that shit, man. All right. Oh, dude, it's been an interesting week, obviously, with all of the craziness that's going on. I'm inclined to kind of mention it because AMC, a theater chain that looked like it was on its last legs, could revive. I don't know, and I'm hoping that it does. I don't want to get too big into the whole Jinju says stop feeding your router vodka.
No, he likes it.
Drunk. Go home, internet. You're drunk.
I thought this was my home.
Goddamn Pornhub ads. Fuck. But
they're so many.
I am hoping that with all the craziness that the chain survives, because AMC was a good theater chain. I really enjoyed them. And if they go down, that's one less theater house that we're going to have throughout the country, and so I'm hoping that happens. So it's so crazy out there right now, but it looks like people I think we're right now seeing how much people need this stuff. They not specifically what we do, but they need movies of this ilk. There's a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear out there these days, and people need horror to decompress and really kind of vicariously express their kind of fear and anxiety that's going on there. It's wild times. We were hoping 2020 wouldn't follow us into 2021, and hopefully it won't too long. But that's what we're here for. We're here to give recommendations for stuff people can watch and see cool things like that. So as Alex likes to say, we are on a horror podcast. This is a horror movie podcast. We talk about fucking horror movies. So what do you say? What do you say we kick this fucking pig?
All right.
Eugene, what do we have up first? Let's give these people what they ask for.
All right, for something to really release the brain. which you'll see what I meant in a little bit.
I see what you did there.
So that's so on the nose. I can taste it.
Tastes like chicken. So, released February 9th, 2001, we have Hannibal, which was directed by Ridley Scott, and it stars Anthony Hopkins, Julianne Moore, Ray Liotta, Frankie R. Felsen, and Gary Oldman.
Faison.
Which is, so this is one of the ones, because I went back and rewatched it recently, this was one of the ones, I saw it when it first came out, and I went a long time without seeing it, and I didn't realize it's Gary Oldman, because he's that good.
Yeah. And he's not credited.
Yeah.
He was uncredited in the film. It wasn't until, I think, the video DVD release. It wasn't until the release that they actually credited him in it. But in the theatrical release, Oldman was not credited because he didn't want to be. He wanted to go solely on the performance of. He didn't want it to be anchored like, oh, it's Gary Oldman. No, he just wanted to show up and be like, this is the monster that is Mason Berger.
That's like a straight boss. When it's just like, no, I don't even want my name in the credits. I am Mason. Pure fucking a chameleon is what Gary Oldman is. I have such absolute respect. He's one of my inspirations as an actor, and I love virtually everything he does. I think I fell in love with Gary Oldman in True Romance when he played the white Jamaican drug dealer with the one eye, with the one good eye and the dreads and shit. When he jumps up on Christian Slater and is like, "You must have thought it was White Boy Day," and then he looks back at his like bodyguard, who's like this huge black guy. He was like, "You must have thought it was White Boy Day. Is it White Boy Day?" "No, man, it ain't White Boy Day." He was so amazing in that role, and then of course you see him in stuff like Leon the Professional and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. So whatever you name it, he's just, of course, Dracula. We're a horror podcast. Bram Stoker's Dracula. The guy can do fucking anything. So, I mean, hats off to him. Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Oh God, Fifth Element. I was just thinking, Zorg. Emmanuel, Jean-Baptiste. No, it was Jean-Baptiste, Emmanuel, Zorg. Jessica says, I loved him in that, but I think I fell in love with him in Leon the Professional. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say Leon the Professional. Yeah.
Everyone. Yeah, I don't want to yell it to you loud, too. It's so loud. I don't want to, call everyone. Who? Everyone. And I love that scene, that ending scene. He shoots Leon in the back of the head, and he doesn't kill him outright. And he drops it, and then he's like, "This is from Matilda." And he pulled the pins and all the freaking grenades.
Yes.
And he just has that look, and he's like, "Oh," shit.
I guess I'm fucked.
But that scene with him and Natalie Portman, young, obviously Natalie Portman. I think her second role or her first role? The second role? I'm not sure. Very young. I think she was 14 when she shot it. But a young Natalie Portman in the bathroom scene, when she's planning to go in there and shoot his ass, and he comes in and catches her, and that was so intense. God, he's such a brilliant actor. And of course, he was amazingly disgusting in this film.
Yeah, just to say the least, that's a difficult face to look at. Where he's like, I thought it was a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
But seriously, did you guys enjoy this film?
Oh, I loved it.
It was so hard to start out watching. No, go ahead, Eugene.
So I still enjoyed the film, but the one thing I think Hannibal does take away is I like the mysteriousness that he had in Silence of the Lambs. In Silence of the Lambs, he's only in it 15-20 minutes. And as this,
it's less than that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. It's less than that. So it's just he's like this enigma that you're like you want to know more, and it's like fascinating. You want to think about it, and then he's so featured so prominently in Hannibal, it kind of took away some of that mystery element to him.
It's true. It did focus a lot more on him specifically. I don't know. Watching this movie, because I didn't actually see this one until much later in life, but watching it was kind of hard for me to watch. I don't know. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie at all. But it was hard to watch, especially with Jodie Foster being replaced.
Yeah, it was a strange dynamic, and I'd read that the big issue was that Jonathan Demme, who directed the original Silence of the Lambs, obviously got the best director for that film, and then Jodie Foster best actress, Anthony Hopkins best actor. It was such a phenomenal film, and I don't think that Jodie Foster or Jonathan Demme really thought that. Well, I think it was after reading the source material, after reading Harris's book, they didn't agree with how Clarice was turning out, the progression of the character. That Jodie Foster had this idea of who Clarice was in her mind, and that this ultimate ending would not suit that character, and she didn't think that she could give that her best. And so they were obviously there were other actors that were tapped. I think Cate Blanchett was possibly up for it. Angelina Jolie was considered for it, until eventually it was Anthony Hopkins who, after reading the book and then because after he read the book he was like no, but then he read the script and he was like, okay, I can see this, because the script was obviously handled a little bit differently. Clarice does not end up with Hannibal, but right. They have the big epic finale, and he loved the idea of shooting a picture, because with Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon, all the other variations, he's always in prison. So right. You only get to see glimpses of him from outside, but this whole movie was he's out of prison. What is Hannibal like in the wild? And he really wanted to portray that. And of course, we get very, very little for the scope of the film and the length of the film. I mean, hell, there was like 100 locations that they shot in this movie. There was very little Clarice and Hannibal. So he felt that he could that they could they could get away with that by having the interaction to a minimum. But it was weird seeing, because Julianne Moore, a phenomenal actress. Oh my God, she's so good. And virtually everything that she does, I haven't seen anything that especially I always remember her Big Lebowski. She was just amazing. But I love her and everything she does. It was a different Clarice. The difference between Jodie Foster and Julianne Moore. I mean, they're both powerful women. They're both strong, but they're strong in different ways, which I think lends a really different dynamic to what we got from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, because
if you had to replace, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's because if you take Jodie Foster in the very beginning, she's still coming across as kind of the naive agent, because she was still new during. There it goes.
Okay, there we go. I think we're back.
Okay.
Oh, nope, it's gone.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Okay, there it goes. The light's green again.
I just realized, Alex, you're not a mod, so I'm making you a mod.
Oh, sweet. I'm not even a fucking moderator. Oh, God. Cool.
Okay, we should be back.
Yeah, sorry about that. We had a week in tech horror. Goddamn right. Always the fucking way. Oh, say hi to a couple people there that have jumped in so far. Hey, PhD Tony, so good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. And I think that was it. Gina Jones, good to see you. So so Eugene, you were talking about the casting.
Okay, so I felt like with Jodie Foster, you get a kind of a young, kind of still naive, because she was still like early in her training and stuff when she went through Silence of the Lambs, and then transitioning to Julianne Moore. Okay.
I see jail.
All right, everybody's back. I don't know why my internet keeps going up and down. I pay for the good internet. We have good internet. My roommate's an IT guy. Okay, we are
good at the moment.
Yeah, we're good right now. All
Okay,
right.
so okay, hang on a sec. So Sarcasm, hi, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Alex, you are now blue now. I see you.
Yay.
PhD Tony says, "Can I sue you guys?" Actually says, "Can I use you guys? You can use me anytime." And
show me a good
buffering
time.
again? No, we're good.
No.
So can I sue you guys for stealing my signature IP? I honestly, I know that that's a joke.
Yes, do it. Fuck it.
But I don't know what the reference is. It's over my head. Plato says, "Well, guess I'm chopped liver over here." No. Chopped skirt steak, maybe. But no, dude. But as you just saw, you plot holes up in the house. Basic trigonometry. Good to see you. Sexiest name on the internet.
Or
This
you
has
know,
the basic trigonometry says this. Oh, and Chris Durham music channel. Excellent. So good to see you. And basic trigonometry says this has the potential to be the longest stream ever, most likely. But let's continue on. So, no, I said mistake. No, I said mistake.
Steak does sound good.
So
though.
Eugene, continue on.
Okay, before internet cuts out again. If you have to replace Foster, I think Julianne Moore was a good choice. The end.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Thank you for taking that away.
Absolutely. That's just.
Damn, God! I'm trying to make sure that we don't drop out again.
I don't think you have any control of that.
Well, I don't.
Now I don't feel so bad for having internet problems.
I'm in the city
So
too.
one thing that I wanted to bring up about this, and one of the things that I thought was absolutely cool, because if you look at Silence of the Lambs, and then Hannibal came out. Hannibal was set 10 years after Silence of the Lambs, and then not Manhunter. I almost said Manhunter, but then Red Dragon, which Manhunter was originally. Red Dragon was the prequel to everything when he was dealing with Will Graham. Then, of course, we have the television series, which hopefully we will get a season 4 of on Netflix. It's a possibility. But Hannibal, I thought, was really, really neat. Obviously, it takes us out of the jail. We go out into the real world. And I have to admit, Ridley Scott can set a fucking film. All right? And if you imagine with Casdino De Laurentiis Productions, they're the ones that pretty much, produced this movie. And the places they went, it still is, other than some period dramas where they're doing like Victorian era or French era, shit like that. Other than things like that, this has to be one of the most lavish productions I have ever seen. The places they filmed were absolutely stellar. Some of the things that caught my eyes was, number one, they filmed in Florence during the height of tourist season. So that must have been absolutely insane. If you're thinking about a movie that has an $87 million budget. So you've got this giant movie going on. You got all this stuff going. And then you have live, shooting on location, which is always very, very expensive. And then, of course, shooting in Florence at the height of tourist season. Then, of course, coming back to the States and moving an entire production overseas is very, very costly. And then coming back to the States and shooting in, I don't want to mess the name up. So they shot in Richmond, Virginia. They shot in D.C. as well, in the Union Station at Washington, D.C., and then in Richmond, Virginia. And then they shot on President James Madison's estate, in a barn on his estate. That's where they did the barn scene when Hannibal was trussed up in the gurney, getting ready to be fed to the pigs. And then, of course, Mason Verger's estate was the Biltmore in Asheville, North Carolina, which is the biggest privately owned estate in the nation. And which I think right now it's more of a tourist trap right now. People go and visit it there, but the Biltmores pretty much live there for some time, and they summer there as well. Crazy fucking rich people. And that was just it was amazing. The cinematography was absolutely stunning in everything they did. You get the feel of every single place that they went, and I loved that. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful film, and I think for some people may have went a little long and may have had some slow moments, but I loved it as the slow burn because that's the kind of character that Hannibal is. Hannibal lives under the radar, very lavishly, but under the radar, and he moves with purpose, and he moves methodically. So in the film followed that type of characterization, almost like, because we were supposed to be living with it, we were supposed to be in his shoes. this is him in the world. And then, but when it gets bloody, it's fast, it's brutal, it's, you don't see it coming. Just like when he kills the guys who were coming to get him in the palazzo, and before he dumps Potsy off the. I remember I saw that someone was, I think someone quoted there, "Bowels in or bowels out."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're confused. I'll decide for you. No, don't decide for me.
Whatever the choice is, no.
So I thought it was a beautifully shot film. I mean, mastercraft in cinematography, in set design, in everything. You could feel everything about it, and that's why I thought it was an excellent accompaniment to Silence of the Lambs. Because Silence of the Lambs, we saw it from Clarice's perspective. She's the FBI trainee. She's the law enforcement officer. We see her reaction into everything. Her reaction when she's when she's with Hannibal in Baltimore. Her reaction when she's with Hannibal in Tennessee, and then of course her reaction when she confronts Buffalo Bill. So we only get a brief glimpse of Hannibal, behind bars, but now we get to see him live and in the wild. And I thought Anthony Hopkins just took it. It was brilliant. And then of course we can't bypass without talking about the final scene. I mean, I know it's the one that Alex likes the most. I mean, that climax.
Giggity.
Okay, I got this. Do you guys remember when you first saw this movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So what was your reaction when you first saw that? You see, Paul, he's sitting in the chair. Obviously, he's fucked up. Okay, because Hannibal got to him first. So he's fucked up. He's in the chair. He's not acting right. Oh, maybe he's drugged. Then he takes the hat off, and you see the line around his head. And you're like, oh no. And then just that whole kind of like, when he's lifting up the scalp to. And what was you guys' reaction originally?
I remember being on the couch because I was like, I was young. I was home from school. I remember I was home from school, but the whole time I was watching the whole movie, and I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, okay. What was the what? Like, okie dokie. And then he's on the plane, and I was like, yeah. I've seen this before.
Eugene, what? Yes, PhD Tony says that guy totally deserved it. Yes, he was an asshole. Because Ray Liotta plays assholes very, very well.
Oh yeah.
Ray Liotta gets fucked up in so many movies, and he just deserves it.
Yeah, basic trigonometry points out when you see the scene and he pulls his scalp back, reveals his brain. Pardon me. And then, of course, he's like he's doing an anatomy class. And the brain doesn't actually feel any pain, and there's a special sac that protects the brain, and so he removes that, and he's pointing it out. And then but when the scene is displayed with the full wide, you got the little saute pan there off to the side. Yeah. He's got the little burner with the saute, and it was like, what? And then, of course, just diving right in. I was like, oh my god!
This is what makes
that
Hannibal.
Good.
This is what makes Hannibal like one of the greatest villains like ever, because there are a lot of villains that can kill you. There are villains that can scalp you and they can like pull out your brain. There's tons of those. How many villains make you eat your own brain?
Sarcasm says, I cheered when Hannibal didn't eat the brain himself. Perfect karma. Yes, when he starts sauteing that hunk of his brain, it's like, oh, that smells good. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh no. He's gonna eat it.
It's like watching a car wreck, because you're like, okay. I say, oh, there's the brain. All right. Oh, there's a skillet. Oh no.
You know what's coming. You know what's gonna be bad.
No. Oh!
And plot hole says, and then he fed it to the kid on the plane. Fucked.
Don't be afraid to try new things.
Man, I kind of forgot like how intense that last like 15 minutes is.
Oh yeah, it goes full bore. I think some of my favorite horror films wind up like that, where it's often a slow burn with little spikes throughout, but then the climax in the third act is just, they go hog fucking wild. I think The Woman is another example of that, which is why I really dig that movie so much.
I guess
Despite
you could look at this one, and it's like, I guess now thinking back on it, I kind of thought it was going to end a different way the whole time. Like, I kind of thought I saw where it was going.
Well, in the book, he actually like ends up brainwashing her. So he does a lot of really, really weird stuff. So he dopes her up with a bunch of psychopharmaceuticals, and he starts brainwashing her into being like a different version, almost like a different version of his sister Misha, because they go into a lot of backstory in the book. They went into a lot of backstory as to him witnessing his sister being eaten by those soldiers.
Yeah.
And then he like brainwashes her into like falling in love with him, and they both eat Paul's brain. They both actually dine on his brain. And in the end, Barney, who is long since retired, is vacationing in Buenos Aires, and he actually catches sight of the two of them together at this. He goes to watch a play, and then in the crowd he happens to see Lecter and Clarice together watching the same play, and nice. Then he like loses sight of them really, really quick. But you can see where it was going, where the two of them kind of ended up together, and the whole big moment was, will they or won't they? And then he cuts his hand off to escape.
So that was such a tense scene too, when she handcuffs him.
Yeah,
and it's like, and he says, "You pick up the knife."
I was replaying that in my head when you were talking about it.
Just that straight up, like, this is gonna hurt.
This is really going to hurt. something I thought was really, really cool was the way Anthony Hopkins approached the role. Now, I think most people know that when Anthony Hopkins approaches a role, is that he's in the role. Is that he basically gets the script, and his process is that he reads the script 200 times straight. He reads it 200 times. That's how he commits it to memory. That's just how he works. And he's in the character. He does the character. And then the minute they yell cut on the final scene, and then his part is done, it all goes out his head. We're buffering again.
Yeah.
Are we?
No, we're good. I think we're good. So that's his process. And then of course, once the movie's done and his part is over, it just flies out of his head. And I think it.
Okay, reconnected.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
So, goddamn, I don't want to lose. So one thing I don't think Anthony Hopkins got a lot of credit for was that he actually altered his physique in between the Florence shots and the American shots when he comes back to America. Jessica says, "Dude, jail. Tell your fucking ghosts they're supposed to be haunting your EMF detectors and spirit box, not the stream. We need that juice for bandwidth. I will let them."
Damn it, ghosts.
But I thought it was really, really cool that he wanted to do it, because in the book, Hannibal actually gets plastic surgery, and that's how he's able to get on a plane without getting caught. But I dug that they didn't have to go in that direction, but he altered his. He actually did, and so in between the Florence shots, because they shot Florence stuff first, and then they shot the American stuff afterwards. And in Florence, he allowed himself to put on a little weight. He got a little soft. Still dang, but he wanted to show that's how Hannibal would live. He would live quietly in the lap of luxury. But once he's back in the game, and now he's back on the hunt again, he's got to be in shape. So he actually, in between shooting in the two locations, he dropped weight and actually stacked on some muscle, so that he could look more formidable, because he's going back into the hunt. He's actually going active again, so he's got to be at the top of his game. And I thought that was, and I don't think a lot of people I don't think he got enough credit for the work, because at his age, to pull off something like that is very, very impressive.
Yeah, to be able to just be like squishy and skinny, or even like not having any muscle mass and then putting it all on real fast. Because he's like 100 now. It's gotta be like
close to it.
Back in 2001, like 98. So maths.
I mean, he's like long retired from acting.
Yeah, no, but that's absolutely true, Jail. That's something a lot of people don't look at either. Is like he did alter a lot, between shooting and like you said, that's got to be tough for somebody. I mean, you got to be pretty freaking committed. But that's Anthony Hopkins. Like you said, he's committed to everything he does 100%. And it's so cool that he can just like drop stuff, because there's a lot of like really good actors that can't do that, and it ends up eating away at him. And you can take like Heath Ledger as an example of that. He couldn't get out of character. He was too far into his character. But I've seen those interviews with Anthony Hopkins when he's just like, yeah, no, I was there and then I was gone, and that was it, and it's done, it's over with, moving on to the next piece.
Well, because one of the things it showcases is the mental toll that acting takes. That's why when people ask, like, oh man, I want to be an actor, I always tell people, like, no, you don't. We need actors, but it's like, no, you don't. Because when you get some of the best ones, and you have actors and actresses that are like, they can't get roles out of their head, or they'll have nightmares from, and this is like pure character. I'm not even talking about like hard work on set and doing conversations 1,000 different times. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about people get into that headspace, and you will have people that have to go to therapy after doing a movie, just to try to work out the demons that they built up creating a character. It takes a toll.
That's a specialist. Doctor. There's doctors out there that treat celebrities after they do films. Like, that's a whole thing. I can't remember the name for it, but yeah, that's just incredible that people can go through that and be sane. Yeah, I'm gonna be an actor. No,
I think it really comes down to the approach, like how you approach it. So my process is I work by the Cohen method, and which is about basically creating the character outside of yourself and then stepping into the shoes of the character, so that you know the character completely, and then you step into the shoes and you portray that, and then you can step out of it. It allows you to separate from the character very, very easily. But when you have the Uta Hagen method or the Stanislavski method, and becoming the character, altering your own self, individuals like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Jim Carrey, these are very intense actors, very, very. They're excellent. They're legends, obviously, but the method that they use takes a toll, and that takes a deep psychological toll that builds up over time. And while we may applaud, Al Pacino every time we see him in a movie and he's fucking amazing, when you see him just when he's in the world, it's rough, because that shit wears you down. Those sacks of bricks that you hang on yourself, those don't just go away with ease. I respect the people like Daniel Day-Lewis. You think about Daniel Day-Lewis and the work that he does, he is ultra freaking method, doesn't drop character, he's constantly in it. So you imagine on Gangs of New York, he was Bill the Butcher like all the time, and same with There Will Be Blood. He was Daniel Plainfield the whole time. So it's like how, and then eventually, but that's why he only did like one or two movies every 5 years. Right. It takes time to shrug that shit off. And I applaud Anthony Hopkins for his talent in being able to slip so easily into and out of it without it wearing on him. It's hardcore. Definitely especially going into dark places like this is. But I guess if you're a little dark yourself, it makes it a lot easier.
Probably helps.
He's just living out his fantasies.
I swear, if you've never checked out his Twitter feed, I highly recommend Anthony Hopkins' Twitter feed. In his later years, he is having so much fun with social media, and it's a lot. It's very, very cute. Such a wild film and absolutely cool. The stuff that they did with Gary Oldman, his makeup effects, which I think was like a 6 hour a day process to get him into it. It was 6 hours to get him into it, and then
imagine sitting there that long, man.
That's fucking.
Yeah,
wild. And then of course
rough.
to shoot the small little scenes that he had.
Right. Yeah. Not even like a whole lot of screen time.
And then of course, I thought I had to know how they pulled off the Paul Krendler scene with the brain. Apparently, are we buffing her again? Are we good?
No, we're good right now.
I think we're good.
Sarcasm said Alex has psychedelic Panasonic potato
Earlier, Jessica was like, JL looks good, Eugene looks good, Alex looks like he's using the Panasonic potato to stream. And that's fair. I don't know. It looks really good on my computer. I don't know why.
So I thought it was really, really cool what they did is that obviously for the back scenes where you don't see Ray Liotta's face, there were some scenes where a full, there was an exact duplicate was created of Ray Liotta for the scene. So they had a big fake Ray Liotta for some shots. Obviously the shots that didn't show his face up close and then of course when you do see his face, it was a combination of makeup. It was special effects, makeup, puppetry, and then of course a dash of CGI. Not a whole ton, but just enough. And obviously the team spent a lot. It was the only big CGI shot of the movie, and so they were able to do some really, really cool work just by focusing on that and just blended it all seamlessly to make it really, really hardcore. So, and yes, s2e20, I agree. I think Hannibal is an underrated film. I just think the majority that saw Silence of the Lambs saw it. Went to go see Hannibal with a kind of nostalgia in their heads, and were disappointed with a different kind of energy of story, and that happens sometimes. But I as far as what release got produced, I thoroughly loved it.
Well, we've actually already talked about Hannibal. We've talked a little bit about Silence of the Lambs. We also briefly mentioned Manhunter, Red Dragon, and the series. So I want to ask the audience. What is your favorite Lecter film? All right, we are back.
He said it was like the last half hour before he started.
Yeah, so it started around 7:30. It started happening.
Eugene, it's okay. Jessica still thinks you're hot tits. I'm sorry, hot.
Thank you, Jessica.
All right, go ahead and drop the CTA again, just in case they got
Okay.
interrupted.
So we've talked about Hannibal, Silence of the Lambs, Manhunter, and the Lecter Hannibal TV series, and also Red Dragon. What is your favorite Lecter film? Let us know in the comments below, or shoot us an email at weekendhorror@gmail.com. So we're going to see if we can get maybe 5 minutes of steady internet while we talk about our next film, Alex.
keep moving. Okay, but seriously though, the TV show is great.
Oh, Hannibal is fantastic. I really do hope we get. Sorry,
Jeez,
I'm sorry about that. I really do hope we get another season. There's hope. So.
Sorry, I was watching the stream of you sneezing there.
God dang, my allergies. What the hell is going on tonight?
No, JL is just buffering. Just him. Oh man. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. You okay over there, JL?
COVID incoming.
Yeah, we just get computer viruses. JL got the real one.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to mute myself. I was sneezing. God dang. Oh, good lord.
That Mountain Cedar, dude. Yes. Okay, I just live chat real quick. Yes, I am being held hostage by Eugene. If I turn my computer around, you would see a water heater with a chain hanging from it. Ironically, maybe it's not a chain.
Oh, it's buffering again.
Help should be on the way. Anyways, our next movie.
We're not on. There we go. Okay.
Are we on? This is the movie, guys. This is the horror movie.
All right, now we're back on.
Feels like it.
It's a struggle. It's everything. We've had so many good shows in a row. It's just bound to happen.
Yeah. We're still running?
Yeah, we're still on.
We're good. We're good.
Oh, you guys are frozen on my computer.
The light is still green.
Yeah, we're green.
As long as we're rolling, I'm just gonna keep going. All right. So, our next.
Do you? Spectrum. Do you, JL? Do you want to see if you can host it?
The problem is, I don't know if we can switch like that.
Because I can't. Well, we're going to be back on. Oh. Or try to finish tomorrow or something like that.
Dude, we can't split the fucking show up into two things. I mean, hang on a second. Fucking hell, god damn it.
I think we've got voice. I see Eugene.
What's the love? Okay, so I'm back. I gotta put both y'all back in.
Sputum. Okay, and for some reason Johnny's not fucking responding to me, so
Johnny.
yeah, in order to swap it, we'd have to redo the stream and relaunch it.
Okay.
I mean, with that. Oh, there's Johnny.
What is he in the chat?
Yeah, he said, I'm hopping on, give me a sec. Should I start doing like DIY videos real quick for the stream?
No, okay. I don't even know what the situation is with the live stream at the moment.
I think we're up with audio. I'm not sure. Can you guys hear us?
Let's see. All right.
Where is my super suit?
Okay, hang on a sec. He just created a new OBS Ninja.
Should we jump over? Are we jumping over?
One sec. Maybe I can give him the stream key and then he can just take it over. Okay. 2 seconds.
Okay, we are live right now. Oh, yeah. That way, if it's somebody else, if I cut it, I just cut it out. That's no big deal. But it's not cutting out the entire stream.
We cannot hear you asking if. Yeah.
We can't hear you asking us if we can hear you. Please stop pestering.
It's like
all right.
So convincing. I completely believe you.
Okay, there's the stream key. He's got that. All right, let's jump over to the new OBS.
So do I stop stream? Hit stop stream?
No. Well, it
all the behind the scenes stuff that people get to be a part of right now.
I know, this is awesome. Hey guys, this is Week in Horror.
No, he's gonna get us all in, and then you're gonna stop the stream.
Okay.
All right, moving over.
Okay, so Alex, move over to the new OBS. I'm gonna move over to the new OBS. Eugene, don't quit it.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being so patient while we figure out this whole technology issue thing. We will be on shortly. Unfriended 3 where everybody just dies. Is it just like unacquaintance then? Okay, we're almost set up. I think they'll pop on. I'll probably have to pop on afterwards.
How the hell is he so slow? Come on, dude.
Who?
No, Eugene, just hop over the new OBS.
He's all right. He's all right. I got to take over anyway, so.
I don't know if you can hear it. Can you...
No, I sent him a message in Discord.
Boom! Look at that. See, now we switched. Now Eugene. As soon as we get you, yeah, as soon as Eugene hops over, I'll get him added in. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I'm here somewhere. s2e20 says, I feel a bit like Robert Downey Jr.'s character from Tropic Thunder. All right, Eugene. Let's see. There was me for a second. You got to see me for a second. Now we're just getting Eugene over.
Oh, can they actually hear us right now?
They should be able to hear you just fine.
Oh, Chris Durham News Channel. This is why I have not attempted to live stream. People with 100 subs, people with 100,000 subs, all having tech issues. My tech skills suck. I'm scared to even attempt to live stream. I get that, dude. I really do.
Bro, sometimes you just gotta fucking go for it.
Send Eugene a message on.
I did. I sent it to him on Messenger as well.
Okay. Maybe it might just be his internet over there.
Well, I sent it to him via his phone. He should pick it up on. He should get the notification on his phone.
No, yeah.
He can't pull himself over because of the internet connection.
Yeah. There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, we got it. We're like, let me get you in the old.
You can connect to multiple OBSs. All you have to do is click the link. It'll open up a new browser window.
Yeah, you got to start that stuff over.
Oh,
so.
Really?
Yeah,
it only do once worth that time.
Yeah, because that's the way OBS works. But now everybody's good to go. Look at all those smiling faces. There we go.
Now the resolution is weird.
What do you mean?
It says, please check the video resolution. The current resolution is 1920 by 1080. Which is not optimal.
Oh.
Now it says good. Now it says good connection.
Yeah. See.
Excellent connection. Still buffering.
Yeah, not buffering.
What are you talking about? Are you?
I still have. It's not buffering for you guys.
Nope.
No.
It is on my screen.
See, it's that Dallas internet.
Go to the rescue.
It was Alex and myself last week.
Oh man.
So Hannibal was a good movie.
I can't see the fucking screen. I guess I'll be stuck on a buffering screen. This episode is going to be. It says might be JL is buffering.
Yeah, I think it's on your end there, JL, because everything on my end looks good. Everybody's nice and crisp. I can see the little old,
What would happen if I hit reload? What would happen if I hit reload on my page?
Try it if you like, and then I'll make sure that you get in, because it'll take you out, and then I'll have to put you back in. But you should be good if you want to reload it.
No, if I reload the live streaming page.
Oh no, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, don't worry about it. That's just yours. So what you see. Because right now
y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, everybody should be able to hear everybody.
Oh, okay. I refreshed. Okay, now I can see it. Cool.
You feel better?
Oh my. I feel yeah. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Oh, good Lord, guys, everyone in the live chat, I am so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. So apparently, Alex's hat is coming in really good. Needs more parrot though. No, we don't. We don't need more. We don't need more parrot. We really don't. Mandel says the problem with Hannibal is that the other two movies are about a mystery, which Hannibal is helping to solve. In Hannibal, there is no mystery. It's just Hannibal being a superhero.
Awesome. Perfect way to that up. Thank you.
Yes. And Basic Trigonometry said this episode of Week in Horror is brought to you by the years 2020 and 2021. It absolutely is. Fuck these years. I swear to Christ.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys get to it.
Okay, so thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
No worries.
Charlie Welch says, "Not your fault. We die hard."
You just call me
Trademark
Super
Fox.
Johnny. We'll be good.
What? Wait, what?
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything at all.
I said thank you, Johnny.
I said you're welcome, JL.
Stupid Johnny.
You said something about saying stupid Johnny. I didn't say that.
What? No, I said Super Johnny.
Oh, Super Johnny.
Super
Yes,
Johnny.
you did. I totally misheard that. I was like, I didn't call you stupid.
Man.
Talk about a Freudian slip. Talk about
Why
a
would you-
Freudian slip.
Why would you think I called you stupid? No.
Let's see. Wednesday, February 3rd, 9:09. I'm calling it. This is the day.
Oh man. Yep. All right. My Bloody Valentine. We'll see you guys when you're done.
Thank
We
you.
should hire that guy.
Like maybe have him on the podcast one day.
like any of us are getting paid.
Yeah, it's true.
What can we pay you? Nothing.
Wait. I'm not getting paid. Fuck this shit.
It's down.
The checks are post dated.
To what?
Bet they're made
2029?
made of rubber too.
Jesus.
Dana Jones says, in all fairness, this is the first time there's been issues. I would say issues of this magnitude. We haven't had a problem like this in quite some time. We have had some hiccups here and there.
Yeah, it's been like a whole week. It's been like a whole week since we had this type of problem.
Well, last week was not as bad as this.
That's true.
Oh my God, I cannot imagine the amount of editing this episode is going to require to go live on the audio.
Thanks, Angela.
You're welcome,
Holy
Angela.
shit.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Angela. She's going to help us out with that. Okay, well,
We're
now,
not getting paid?
all right. So, Alex, let's pick it up with you. You barely got started, so do your thing.
I'm gonna just start this over. All right, My Bloody Valentine coming at you February 2nd, February 11th, 1981. Yeah, this is fucked. Okay, directed by George Mihalka. Eugene, or I mean J.L. Hope, not Eugene.
Oh, that was going to me.
Not me.
George Mihalka.
Is it Mihalka?
Yeah.
Okay, I was never able to say that right. So George Mihalka, written by Stephen Miller. This movie starred Paul Kellman, Laurie Hollier, Neil Affleck, Keith Knight, Alf Humphreys. Wow, man. Cynthia Dale. Eugene's rubbing off on all of us. In this original My Bloody Valentine, the story is there's a folktale about a murderer that killing people that celebrate Valentine's Day. There was a mine that collapsed. A lot of people died. There was one survivor, and they think that this guy is killing all these people. So they're trying to track him down, and bodies start turning up. It's great. I was gonna use Eugene's line, but we won't do that tonight.
Oh, I adore this film. Not to mention, it obviously a very, very cool addition to the slasher genre. Even though knives don't really come into it, it's more the pickaxe and other fun utilities. But
I love this one. I liked the human aspect of it, that it was a person, and you just in that freaking suit. I can't even imagine how hot that damn thing was.
Yeah.
How did that smell, by the way? Because I kill people in a rubber suit.
In the flavor.
But one thing that has to be said about this movie is 1981 when this released in the States, and this movie was highly reviled.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about 1981, but there were a lot of horror films that were just hated when they came out, because The Thing also came out in 1981 and was just absolutely torn apart at the critics. The depiction of violence in this. Now, I think that this was because we're in the early 80s. The slasher genre has been established. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Friday the 13th, The Burning, so on and so forth. And now all of a sudden, I think we were in the one-upman ship of the horror genre, where the next one's got to be bigger, flashier, gorier, nastier, more sex, more tits, more ass, more people getting killed in more gruesome ways or more creative ways. And I think that this was one of those big hits. And I thought some of the stuff in this, especially for the early 80s, was really, really intense. And I can see why some people freaked out. Very similar to Silent Night, Deadly Night in its depictions of violence and, kind of depravity. And so a deeply reviled film that a lot of people rejected when it first came out. Now it's considered to be a legend.
Had it when it came out for its rating, they forced them to cut 9 minutes out of the film. And so when I actually went, you can find the director's cut that was released, they say about 10 years ago, and it actually has 3 minutes of footage that's restored. And it's just, it's all gore. Straight up all gore. Nice. So the scene where it's like the lady gets put in the dryer, and if you in the original cut, you can see it where she like comes out of the dryer, she's all burned. In the restored footage, the dryer's still going, so you see her tumbling around while her head's sticking out, like bouncing around and stuff like that.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
So if you ever get a chance to watch, you can tell the difference because some of the footage looks grainy. Like you can tell there just wasn't really like the color correction and stuff like that done that they did for the original one. But it's fucking worth it. It's, like I said, 3 minutes of just added gore.
That's awesome, and we see that a lot. The gore or extreme violence just shaved down because the MPAA feels it's just a little too much. It's like, oh, come on. We didn't need that extra 30 seconds or that extra minute of violence. You could shave that off. It's like, all right, to make the, to get that coveted R rating.
This movie was great. And if you didn't know, this Quentin Tarantino named this film his all-time favorite slasher film. It was great. And I saw this one after I saw the newer one, and I was like, okay, now I understand what it was supposed to be. So I was pleasantly surprised with the original being pleasantly surprised. I guess sarcastically surprised that the original was much better than the remake. But
I thought, I agree. I agree with you on that. I thought that the remake wasn't soulless, and we have seen
it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, but we've seen a cadre of freaking just soulless remakes or reboots or whatever. Just like, why are you doing this? My Bloody Valentine, I could dig it. I thought the 3D was a little over the top.
I mean, it was just the time. It was just what they were doing.
Yeah, I guess he was like, let's put it in 3D. It's like
coming at the camera. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So he sticks the pickaxe in my face. It's like, that's fucking great.
Yeah, no, it was good. And there was like a lot of this movie. I was doing research on it. And, it was filmed in Nova Scotia in the mines, and the stuff that they had issues with on this set were just so Canadian. There was a fake corpse shipped in a coffin to the set, and it flipped out. The Canadian Border Patrol flipped out, or the customs was freaking out because they're like, "What the fuck?" And then,
that looked like a real dead body there. You kind of had us concerned there for a minute, don't you know?
I'd be like, "Oh, open it up. Oh, sorry. Hey, Susan." There's a body in here.
There's a body in this box over here.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say Mandel says it was the era of the fear campaign against video nasties, and reviewers kind of had to speak out against gore or get canceled. And that's true. The video nasty epidemic, which started in England and then kind of came over here, was causing some films to get completely shut down. It was one of the things that shut down Silent Night, Deadly Night. Its depiction of a Santa Claus raping a mother and shooting a father in the head. It's just then going on a mass murder. It was stuff like that got films like shut down. I think another one we talked about recently was Alex, what was it? Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker. Yeah. And so it was films like this that unfortunately fell prey to that. And luckily, they made it through. Art does what art persists, art prevails. Art is gonna art. The thing that always comes out, some would say that this was trying too hard to be Friday the 13th, to be the next Friday the 13th, which it may have been. The cinematography is somewhat similar. It hit the same kind of tropes. It was a I wouldn't say a shot for shot, but it used a lot of the same cinematography tricks. So you could call it kind of a following in its footsteps. But it took chances that Friday the 13th did not, that Sean S. Cunningham did not take on that film. And the one thing that fascinated me was how dangerous this set was to work on. Because few people know that the film was actually shot in a working mine, something like 1,600 feet below the surface of the earth.
The thing is, mines are inherently dangerous, whether they are closed. I mean, people die in them all the time. And so, this is clearly, it's a low budget slasher film. Hands down, you can tell it's a low budget film. And so it's cheaper. They found a town in the middle of nowhere and actually shot in it. And it's not like it's just a little bit in the mine. They spent a lot of time in that mine. And so when you're taking actors and your crew down 1,600 feet and you're shooting various scenes, and they had things like mine collapses and stuff where they hit the beams and the rocks come down towards the very end. They had the chase. They had where they jump on the trolley system that they have. And even though even in the film, it didn't move that fast, that's still something moving. It's still dangerous. It's very dangerous, but they were able to work it out. There's no one that I was doing research, no one that I heard of got hurt or anything like that. So they were able to take precautions that way, but you're shooting in a working mine. I don't know another film that's shot in a working mine.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird that because every production has insurance, and insurance is going to sign off in your production before they'll guarantee anything. And so I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so we're going to take cameras, we're going to take lighting equipment, we're going to take actors, people, and crew, and we're going to keep it minimal. We're going to keep it very skeleton, but we're going to go down some 1,650 feet below the surface of the earth into a working mine where we have to be concerned about gas leaks, methane, various crap. And then we're going to bring lighting kits and electricity and light up this whole area like you would light up a movie set. And shoot this down there. I think that is wild beyond comparison. Mandel says Nova Scotia, they should have shot it in the money pit on Oak Island. That is a whole nother story. The Oak Island mystery. That's that should be saved for another podcast. But you're right. That was crazy. And looking back, I don't think any production would be greenlit with that kind of. They would fake it. They would build that in a sound studio, maybe do the exteriors of the mine, maybe people going in and out of the entrance, but the interiors of that would be done on a soundstage. Absolutely, you can't have your actors running around, in the dark, and then of course, running electricity down 1,600 feet, down into the ground. You don't know what's going to happen. You could wind up with the entire crew in the dark. You could wind up with a methane leak that the lighting equipment could accidentally trigger. You're looking at all kinds of just danger, death. But hey, man, it was the 80s. Cocaine was a hell of a drug, and let's just fucking do it.
There was and not even just that, but some scenes in the movie they were talking about. There was the miners in the shower scene where it's it looks like they're taking a hot shower. it looks like they're taking a hot shower, but it's cold, and they're just blowing steam into the room with fans. And it's like, you spent enough money blowing steam into the room, like you probably could have got some sort of like, water heater system set up. But no, it was for a short time. So they're like, all right, we got to cut money here. So you could tell that it's stuff like that. It's low budget. And like you said, here's this small amount of money, go jump down into a fucking mine. It's just insane. They're nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mandel says he wasn't allowed to watch this movie when he was a kid, and he hasn't seen it in full since. We'll have to check it out. Definitely. What's most entertaining about the film? The plot is pretty, it's pretty basic, but the kills are cool. It has some unique stuff, and of course, I like the killer, the dude with the with the freaking miner's mask, it's solid black with the headlamp that just kind of blinds his victims when he stares right at them. I thought it was a cool design. It was slick. Especially for 1981. I would find him scary. I think there's a year-round haunted house near where we live here in Texas called Dark Hour, and they had the during the Valentine's Day event, because they do one for every major holiday, and so they were doing the Love Is Blind haunted house tour, and they had a dude dressed as the miner out there in front taking pictures.
You want to know a super cool piece of trivia? I actually think it plays so well into how the actors acted, because I'm not going to give like stuff away because this would reveal plot points, but I'm not going to. One of the stars in the movie said that the identity of the killer was kept secret even from the cast, because the filmmakers like the idea of the mystery being real among the actors. This particular person, though, figured it out when they got called in to do makeup on the final scene, where something happens and he knows that it happens because of the script, and then he figures it out, but not until the very last scene filming.
Nice.
So yeah, so like just that idea of them all being on there, and they're genuine. They have no idea. Even the person that's the killer doesn't know that they're the killer, and that's
that's cool.
That's what makes it like super genuine. And like that's reading that, I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And they seem so.
Yeah, and it's just a stunt dude who's the actual who's portraying it, but in front of the camera,
right? Just
some dude that they got, and then of course there's holy shit, I was a killer the whole time.
It's and those scenes are probably shot separately anyways from when the cast is there, so it's like it's just super cool, and it's like they're trying to think it's a murder mystery dinner for the actors, so it's just like.
PhD Tony says that is actually bad writing.
What is?
I don't know about that. I think that's a unique way of taking it.
It was in the 80s. It was a new thing. Like,
it's akin to The Descent, when none of the actors actually saw the monsters until they were on stage shooting, and then they did the appearance. So the director kept all of the crawlers sequestered away from the girls, so that when the crawlers debuted, the reactions that we saw in the movie, that was the first time the girls ever saw the monsters in real life, when they saw them on there. So I thought that would, I think to get that kind of unique experience, I think is really, really cool. So it mostly because the individual that is going to be the killer, their portrayal throughout the film, because they have no idea, they assume I'm not the killer because the script doesn't have me as a killer. And then as they get through the end, they portray the whole time as though they're innocent. That way it comes off as unique. So it takes a lot of the onus off the actor. That the actor's like, I'm playing like I'm good, but I'm actually a bad guy. No, so I'm playing like I'm good. Holy shit, I was the bad guy the whole time. And I think it works as far as helping the actor.
It plays, okay, so there's a psychopath, and a psychopath in real life is going to play the most normal person. They're generally like the most normal people when they're not, doing something insane. So that I think that helps a lot with that aspect of the, okay, this guy is just totally normal guy. Oh my God, he killed his whole family. Like that's just kind of how those stories play out anyway. So having this, this guy just playing a role, and then like, oh, but you have a secret tucked somewhere else. And I don't know. I think it works.
Like Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
Was that too soon?
Yeah.
I feel bad. I should have made that joke. I feel so bad.
We're not guys anyways. Don't worry about it. I think it's just me and you now, man.
Well, do you want to hit him up with the CTA?
Huh? Yeah. Oh yeah, we can do that.
Because it's yours.
I was like, I was waiting for Eugene to jump in, and I was like, oh, never mind. All right, yeah. So, audience, if you've seen both of these, which one did you enjoy more, the original or the remake? I mean, it's a toss-up. I prefer the original now that I've watched it again, 10 years later, but they're both pretty good.
I actually do prefer the original myself. I felt that the remake was more a Jensen Ackles vehicle. While it wasn't soulless and it was entertaining, I think it was predominantly because, Jensen Ackles was, it was the hotness, or he still is the hotness. And he's going to be on, The Boys season 3 here pretty soon. But at the time, they're doing Supernatural, one of the biggest shows, on TV at the time. And so they wanted to branch out, just like Jared Padalecki did the Friday the 13th reboot, and he did House of Wax. And then, of course, Jensen Ackles did My Bloody Valentine. And I don't think he did any other movies while he was doing the show. But I think it was a vehicle for him, just kind of keep his name fresh while they were on hiatus from the show. But otherwise, not a bad film. But I do prefer the original.
I'll challenge you to go watch the original one, and we'll continue this conversation.
Definitely check out the original. Absolutely.
All right. Well, we've got a fun one next, JL.
Oh. Yes, we do. This one is an absolute blast. I actually recently showed this in the theaters, and I've been longing to talk about this movie since I first discovered it. This film released February 12th, 2015, and it's Wyrmwood, Road of the Dead. Oh, I
didn't know anything about this movie until I saw like a thing for the show.
Well, directed by Kia Roche-Turner and written by Kia Roche-Turner and his brother Tristan Roche-Turner, starring Jay Gallagher, Bianca Brady, Leon Burchill, Keith Agus, and Baron Schwert. This film is a zombie film. It's an Australian zombie film. In a nutshell, a man and his family are woken up one night as the zombie apocalypse is starting. And as their friends all turn, they discover that some are immune, such as the father of the family and, of course, his sister. Which leads them into the hands of what appears to be a shady government agency, as they are doing experimentation on the immune and doing experimentation on the zombies. It turns into an all-out insane splatterfest, which is so much fun. With obvious homages to Evil Dead, Night of the Living Dead, and everything in there, but of course done with the typical Australian flair. Such an amazing film, and totally, I think, it deserves more credit than it gets, because from the opening to the end is just absolutely brilliant. You're right. Hopefully, we will be getting. Hopefully, we will see the sequel to it soon. But an absolute blast. And I hope that the people who watched it with me on the stream really enjoyed it as much as I did, because I love showing it.
It's so much fun. It's so Australian. And I don't know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I can't even name 3 other Australian zombie films that I've seen, and so being able to like see this and kind of get a feel, because any Australian, it's always been like the Outback and the Killer, but then now it's like, okay, zombies, and just watching their take on it's a lot of fun. I mean, you've got gas mask wearing, psycho. There's the psychotic doctor, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, the dude. Okay, the doctor was hilarious. While really it's oh dang, I don't want to forget his name. It was Leon Burchill that honestly made that movie. He was the original dude, Benny. Yeah. His reactions to everything is so absolutely it's quintessentially Australian and absolutely hysterical every time. Just like, this truck runs on zombies. No zombies, no truck. It's like, oh, no shit. Yeah. Mandel says, as a follow-up, you should cover the Aussie zombie movie Undead. And I look forward to that, because quad barrel shotguns cannot go wrong.
Okay, I fucking forgot. Yeah. All right. Sorry.
Yes, I love that one as well. But this particular,
I'm breaking in for a sec. Did you watch that movie I sent you?
I have not watched that Indian film.
Indian? It's not an Indian film. It's a Japanese film.
No, the one you linked me to with the little midget?
No, not that one. Yeah, you're supposed to watch that one too. I'm talking about the Japanese film I sent you. You're talking about zombie movies, and you haven't watched that one yet? For shame.
Where have you sent me this film?
It's in Discord. Send it to you.
I didn't see shit.
The hell you didn't? You said you're gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch this on lunch. I'm gonna read the Discord message to you. Hang on, let me find it. J.L. Warren.
Where did you send it to me? You didn't message it to me.
Yes, I did. February 1st.
Oh, it's like the plot hole. Where are you at? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm interrupting the stream for this.
Sorry, you were talking about.
Hang on a second. Okay, zombies, the toilet of the dead. Okay, I didn't realize it was Japanese.
It's zombie ass, the toilet of the dead. Thank you.
Zombie ass, the toilet of the dead. I will watch this. I didn't get an opportunity to watch it at lunch today, but I will watch it. I totally forgot about this one because the fucking midget one freaked me out.
You're welcome. All right, sorry guys.
Oh, no, it's okay. But we will be covering Undead, absolutely. Mandela says, I want to make an Australian horror movie with the line, a baby took my dingo.
I'm back temporarily.
Oh, hey.
Man Devil gets the award for the live chat tonight. A baby took my dingo. That belongs in a Peter Jackson.
That's great. That's definitely a Peter Jackson line.
Sarcasm says, quintessentially Australian, boring and flat until it tries to kill you.
Exactly.
This is very true. But I adore this movie. It's so much fun. Jessica was asking me if I was going to stream. I think someone was asking me if I was going to stream again tonight. Or maybe I'll show this movie again so people can see because it is so much fun. You'll get the notification if I decide to stream it in the theater. And yes, Charlie Welch, The Night Eats the World was also good. It's a French film, I do believe that was. But yes, I enjoyed this one particularly because of the fresh take on the zombies. Classic, either Romero zombies or you get the reinterpretation of Snyder, or you get Del Toro zombies, or you get Danny Boyle zombies. You get Raid zombies like this. But I liked this one because it was an interesting combination of all of them, really.
Yeah. No.
Oh, did we lose Eugene again?
Wait, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, did we lose you? 'Cause that was your cue.
I've been cutting in and out like so much. I've been getting bits and pieces of the conversations so far of it.
Oh dang! Well, okay, so I'll pretty much run it. The fact that the zombies themselves were okay, they were slow. They were slow during They were slow during the day, but they were fast at night, and that's because the zombies emitted this kind of gas that, for some reason, gave them fuel. And so it escaped them in the day, which made them slow. And then at night, it didn't. And they were able to use it themselves. And then made them super fast and super dangerous at nighttime. And then you have the look of them was neat. And the look of them was, I would say, classic Romero. And then, of course, you have the fast zombies, the idea brought by Zack Snyder and Danny Boyle. And then infectious zombies, because some people were infected by something that occurred in the night sky. Very similar to Undead, that there was an event like shooting stars, and then all of a sudden the zombie apocalypse happened. Yeah, so it was a neat little amalgamation of all the zombies that came before it. While not completely original, it made it fun, because it just changed things up. So all of a sudden, the zombies are slow. We can just walk and stay ahead of them. Holy shit, it's nighttime and the zombies are fucking fast. That sucks. And they're out of control. And then you turn around, it's like, oh, but some people got infected, but people with an A negative blood type did not get infected. Okay, that's interesting. And then, shady evil government with, I don't know what kind of grain pulsing electrical thing was on the back of that truck that they were driving. But of course, running around grabbing survivors and throwing them in a truck and then doing wild experiments on them by drawing shit or taking fluids out of the zombies and injecting it into the immune. I have no idea what that was all about. But that doctor was hilarious. I'm just fucking with you.
It's just in the fucking hazmat suit. It's just perfect.
What the fuck?
What happened?
Who was playing that? I fucking heard it. So is it get out? There's fucking zombies everywhere. Was that you?
No, that was on my computer. I was trying.
Oh, it was you. Okay.
To the fucking Barry at the beginning. the whole thing was when I was watching this, I felt so bad for Barry because he's killing everybody. Or he kills what's her face with the fucking nail gun. He tries to shoot himself, doesn't work.
Oh yes, he shoots his wife and his daughter.
Yeah,
I want
yeah. He
yeah.
puts the one in the forehead and the wife, and then he just tries to kill himself the whole movie. It just doesn't work out.
Ah!
Like,
he's so fucking pissed.
No, it's great.
Micro Rep says they themselves emitted a gas that they got energy from. Perpetual motion zombies. I have no idea.
Dude, no.
I honestly can't answer that question. I don't.
Man Devil, yeah, it's like Mad Max meets
28 days later.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many interesting things about it. I love the fresh take on the zombie apocalypse and the way people would react to it because it's decidedly not American. It's decidedly not British. It is decidedly Australian how these cats react to the zombie apocalypse. And it makes me so sad that I am not Australian myself because I wish I can imagine myself behaving this way during the zombie apocalypse. I really do. It was like, wow, okay, zombies, the dead have risen. It's the end of days. Holy fuck. Okay, but just you have to watch the movie. It's absolutely great. So I want to go through just because the movie is so much fun. I know we enjoyed it. So I don't know if we lost you.
I think I'm here.
Maybe we still got him. Yeah. So I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
You watched the film, right? Okay. So favorite moment in the film.
Favorite moment of the film. I thought it was really cool where they're in they're in a shed and you had the one zombie and she had the face paint on and the hair strapped up. And then
yes.
So then she gets loose, bites the one chick, the other chick fucking Superman jumps up on the rafters. And then she straight up kills one zombie with a shovel, right? And the other zombie's strung up and she's like, okay. And she raises up the door and there's a zombie right outside the door and she's like, nope. He puts it right back down.
And Alex, what about you?
There's so many fucking.
This truck runs on zombies. No zombies, no truck.
No zombies. No lines in the movie. But, okay, so Benny when he shoots that dude in the head, and he's like, "Oh shit, he wasn't a zombie." No, he fucking wasn't. Is he okay?
You think he's all right? I think because Benny was so badass. But my absolute favorite moment in the film is when it gets me every time. I've seen the movie 4 times now, but it's when they meet the bad guys. The bad guys talk to the truck. They have a conversation, and Benny's Barry's not taking any shit. He's like, "You take me to see my fucking sister," blah blah blah, like that. And it's all very very tense, very very hardcore. The bad army guys are playing it off yeah, it's all good. We'll take you right to your sister. Yeah, blah blah blah. Then they get back in the car, and Benny's like, "They seem like nice blokes." Or not. Just his reaction to shit. Oh, I'm not surprised that the some of the best moments surround Benny, and I can't wait to show people. I'm dead. I think I'm going to stream this in the theater. I'm going to fucking stream it so people can watch it. It's such an amazing film, and so worth it. It's so worth it.
Never grab man's balls in a.
No! Don't spoil it. There's so many things I don't want spoiled in this film. I want people to experience it for the first time because it shows low character. Oh, it's so fantastic. Oh my God. But definitely, there's not much to say about it. I don't want to spoil too much about the film because it did come out in 2015, but it's still fairly. It's less than 6 years old, and it's a fun movie. And for people who have not seen, because it's an Aussie gem. And a lot of people haven't heard of it because zombie films kind of fly under the radar on occasion, unless you're a big zombie fan. I'm actually kind of surprised that somebody else knew about Undead because that movie got even less attention when it came out. So I've been looking forward to actually streaming this one. I think you guys are really, really going to love it. But in taking a look at it, so one thing is what's the future of Wyrmwood? And if you look online, there's actually a spec trailer that was done for Wyrmwood 2. And it had the lead actors return for it. And it was really, really cool setup. It was really neat where they're kind of taking the fight to the army and everything. It's really, really interesting. So it's just a little spec trailer for Wyrmwood 2 to try and raise funding for the movie.
for doing a Wyrmwood 2. I think it was just Wyrmwood 2. Unfortunately, whatever circumstances arise, I think they took inspiration from Wolf Creek, because Wolf Creek, we have Wolf Creek 2, and the series continues on in television format, episodic format, which is fantastic. If you have not seen Wolf Creek Season 1 and Wolf Creek Season 2, John Jarrett returns to play Mick Taylor in both of those, and it is absolutely amazing because they capture Australia in a way that the films just couldn't do. And it's absolutely stunning. I want you guys to go and watch those. They're 10 episodes apiece. I believe that they are on. I think they might be on Shudder. I'm not sure, but definitely check those out. Wolf Creek Season 1, Season 2. Well, the guys who did Wyrmwood decided to do the same thing. Is that they wanted to go episodic. So we're going to get a Wyrmwood TV series called Wyrmwood Apocalypse, which I think will follow the premise that they were going to try and pull off with the sequel film. So my CTA is: would you prefer, as a horror fan, would you prefer your sequel to be in episodic format, like Wolf Creek has done and seen success with, or would you prefer to see it as a movie, as a standalone experience? Which do you prefer? Do you prefer, in the one dose, I get my horror and then I'm good to go, or I like it spread out, American Horror Story style or Hannibal style, where I like the slow draw over an entire season? Let us know. We'd like to know in the comments or in the chat, or hit us up, weekinhorror@gmail.com. Remember, Alex loves reading your emails, and he is extraordinarily lonely. He has 4 children and ceases to actually get any action these days. You guys are the only action he gets.
Man, I'm not even touching that one.
I'll touch that one because that's 100% accurate.
Johnny, I think you only live a few miles from me, so it kind of freaks me out, man.
And we're both parents of 4, so I know exactly what you're going through. You're not going to get laid for another 2 years minimum. Didn't you just have a new one, or you've got one on the way?
Got one on the way, yeah.
So yeah, you're done. Just wrap it up.
just
you tie that shit, okay? Just you tie it and be done with it.
Okay. You guys can get together, form your little dusty underwear club, and invite.
No.
Watching this
you said right you said crusty wrong.
Oh, is that?
Hey, JL, I don't want to I was just reading this Wyrmwood Apocalypse. I'm sure that's not a movie.
I'm pretty sure I read it that they were going to release it as a series. Wyrmwood
in August 2020.
In August 2020, funding was announced for a sequel titled Wyrmwood Apocalypse. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, this film follows Soldier Reese on an arc of redemption as he turns against his evil bosses to join forces with a group of rebel survivors. Together, they help save a little girl's mother from death at the hands of the military.
Caribbean film. It looks like if you go up a little bit, there was the
Chronicles of the Dead, featuring Gallagher and Brady reprising the roles as Barry and Brooke. They released a short teaser for the series on May 19, 2017. A direct sequel to Wyrmwood Chronicles of the Dead, starring them, will be in episodic format. And then apparently in August of last year, they got funding for a movie that is in the same universe but is separate from the original story. Okay, neat. We may get both. Holy shit. Let me see here. Eugene Mandel says Eugene's retention was going off a cliff. Apparently it was. Mike Roach says, of course he'd be bad at it. Mandel says the best Irish horror movie, which makes you wish you were Irish, is Grabbers. Incredible stuff. I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Very cool. Mandel says, if you haven't seen Wolf Creek, you're just a head on a stick.
I'm back.
Damn, I should write movie poster bylines. You should. That was funny. If you haven't seen Wolf Creek, you're just a head on a stick. Mandel says, JL also the horror geek. I like to think I'm the horror geek. I do. Mike Raptor says, Wolf Creek, even Jessica G watched after JL suggested it. Absolutely. Because it's a great movie. John Jarrett is absolutely amazing as Mick Taylor in that. And he's even more off the rails in the sequel, in Wolf Creek 2. But the episodes are fantastic. We get a little bit of backstory into him, but not too much. There's still a bit of mystery around Mick Taylor. But we get some backstory, a little bit of history, and a really awesome arc with the girl whose family Mick killed, but she escaped, coming back to get revenge and to track him, to hunt him down and kill him and to avenge her family. It's really, really intense. Very, very cool stuff. Plus the actor who played Gannicus and Spartacus is in it, which is pretty neat. Sarcastic Chronicles of the Dead. Yes. So apparently it was both of them. So there you go. Hopefully maybe we'll see both. You never know. Absolutely. So we've got one more film.
I'm here.
But I don't know. Okay, back again.
Let's see if I can get through the intro of this last film before my internet crashes again.
Fingers crossed.
So it's gonna be really fast. So released February 13th, 2000. We have Bruiser, directed by the great George A. Romero, starring Jason Fleming, Peter Stormare, Leslie Hope, and Tom Atkins.
It's Peter Stormare.
It's Peter Stormare.
It's Peter Stormare, jail.
And basically you have this guy who he's basically just surrounded by a bunch of shitty people. His friend's stealing money from his wife, is cheating on him with his boss, and like all these bad things happen, and he wakes up with a white mask on, and he basically sets out to get revenge and wrong the people. The maid steals from him, so he gets in a confrontation with the maid. But yeah, he basically goes after the people who wronged him.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a revenge. Yeah.
Oh yeah, straight revenge.
Revenge.
Yeah.
Absolute revenge flick. One thing that's super cool about Bruiser is directed by George Romero. One of the few really big budget films that he did. But decidedly not. What is this? Paul says it's JL Warren. What?
Ren?
Warren? Ryan?
Ren.
I have no. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the joke. It's over my head. I'm focused on the show. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Trying to work
so, it's decidedly it's very interesting because it doesn't really feel. Oh, you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Warren. Oh, it's Warren. Gotcha. Okay, now I get it. JL War wrong. Oh, that's not nice. I love you, Jessica G. You're such a sweetheart. Anyway, so the thing about Bruiser is decidedly not. It doesn't feel Romero is the whole big thing, because obviously Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, The Crazies. These are all very much kind of like in the vein of like infected people going crazy, eating people, whatever. But Bruiser was decidedly different. It's almost like kind of like with Monkey Shines. Monkey Shines didn't feel like Romero, him stepping out of the box. And I think it's just him doing studio films was the whole thing, which is why he really didn't like it. But regardless of the fact, it still was a decent movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt. I understand him stepping away from doing zombie. I mean, that to me is perfectly okay. But I don't know. It felt just okay at best.
Well, that's the thing is like it's not like you said. It's not Romero. It's dark and it's funny, but it's not what we're used to seeing. And after coming off of God, what was the movie that came out right before this? Was Day of the Dead?
Well, this one came out in 2000.
Oh, so then it would have been earlier than that.
I think I can't remember the last one he directed.
It came out right before
Bruiser.
I know The Dark Half came out before that, and that was good. But it wasn't like things. He touched on so many different what's the word? Styles. I guess you could use. It just didn't feel. It didn't feel very Romero, and just seeing that name on it and expecting one thing and getting this film, it was like, okay, what happened?
I think there's a classic. Obviously, Romero goes very heavy on the subtext. There's always an underlying theme to everything that he does. With Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead was a skewering of consumerism, and people always that's why it's set in the mall. People flocking to the mall because they're drawn to the mall. Is the whole concept, and then of course, society eating itself in that respect. But Bruiser, I always felt that there was the subtext of a loss of identity. Now it was in 2000, so given the kind of societal angst of the 90s and the steady growing rise of capitalism, and the kind of notion that people were getting lost in the system, people feeling like cogs in a machine, that we're all just here to be of some service to one thing, and then we die and then we're gone, and we're and people get forgotten, people get lost in that, and then those lost people are easily taken advantage of. Our character Jason Fleming's character is arguably this individual. Henry is at every turn fucked over by every single person he knows, even supposedly his best friend. His wife is fucking his boss. His boss doesn't treat him with any respect. The guy he thinks is his best friend is actually embezzling money from him. It's ridiculous how every person he meets is fucking him over, but they don't fuck him over because of who he is, because of who he is as a person. They fuck him over simply because they can fuck him over.
Fuckable.
And so
he's easily
exactly. He's a doormat. Which is the same of it, and then that's the idea. That was the deal. I saw the theme of identity, the loss of identity, and with the loss of identity comes the loss of power. And that is what people, especially people his age, were feeling. The people coming up in the corporate world, the people coming up in specific areas of the country, wherever it might be, people were losing themselves, and that loss of identity was coming out in drastic ways. Rises in violence, or rises in murder, or rises in even simple assaults. And we see the same. It was very similar. I saw parallels to what was going down in Japan, because in Japan they went through a time when it was all about corporate excellence. It was all about loyalty to the job. People working 80 and 90-hour work weeks, and you had motherfuckers, at the end, burning out and throwing themselves off buildings because they simply couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And so I saw this is kind of the American parallel to that, whereas the American will probably not, throw himself off the building. The American will pull out a gun and mow everybody down in the post office. And that's kind of what Henry does through very much the kind of mask that he discovers. In that respect, it's supernatural. It's a supernatural aspect, but it's the power of anonymity. He's able to dissociate from himself. He's no longer Henry when the mask is on. In order to get his identity back, he's got to take his power back from everybody who's stolen it from him. And he does it in the quintessential American way with bloody violence. Oh, you really going to say that? Okay, pause on the world. You legit just said a Uwe Boll film was better than a Romero film.
It was nice talking to you guys. I just got fired. No, okay, so you're talking about this.
Yeah, okay.
This movie.
This whole
problem is you're very correct in the aspect that Romero always has that subtext, and it's always deep, and it's always like you got to be looking for it. And when you kind of catch on to it, it's like everything clicks into place. I think this one just drug out so hard. It was just kind of dull that it wasn't even considered. I didn't see it. It wasn't very strong.
I can see that. You still think a Uwe Boll film is better than a film. You think I'm going to let that go?
All right. So here's the deal with Rampage. It was something that I saw at a time in my life that it hit really hard, so it stuck, and I think that's probably why those words came out of my mouth, because it was kind of the same aspect. The dude, like you said, the dude snapped and started mowing people down, and that's what happened in that movie. And if it was just going to be that, if it was just going to be a movie about a guy snapping and mowing people down, Rampage definitely got to the fucking point a lot quicker.
It's
I would say this about with Rampage, comparing Rampage to Bruiser, is that, and it felt forgettable. Like it felt like something that could just be like lost in the shuffle. Whereas with Rage, I remember that film. That film stayed with me. I'm not saying, Uwe Boll all of a sudden coming. No, he's a fucking fantastic director. But Rampage, Rampage is still his best movie. And if we're talking about in terms of getting to the point, I think Rampage does it.
Uh-oh.
I think Rampage is his most coherent film. I will give you that.
That's fair.
It's his simplest and most coherent picture. It really, really is. We'll check this out. Hey, Seek Truth, Speak Truth. Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by the show. Glad to have you here. Plot hole. Come on. You and Alex are tied.
Together.
Mandel says, can you imagine having Tony on set? The entire crew would pass out every 5 minutes.
We have broken JL.
Yeah, I can see that. I could definitely.
We have broken JL.
I can definitely see that. The plot hole, Week in Horror. What? 2 saying terrible things. Yeah. So I can't get over the fact that you. Here's the fucked up thing. I think you both. I think you both have very valid points.
Whoa.
Wait a minute. Do I have to fire all three of you?
I gotta be honest.
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
I gotta be honest. I didn't think.
Wait a minute. This is worse than the time that you said Ghosts
think
are
of it in
real.
that perspective. I give so little credit. I give so little credit to Uwe Boll with Blood Rain, In the Name of the King, Postal, what the fuck ever. Alone in the Dark, what the fuck? Tara Reid is a fucking archaeologist. No, anyway. I give him so little credit as a director, as a filmmaker, as anything. I bet he's a shitty restaurateur too. But he actually managed to land an okay film with Rampage. Even though it's not great filmmaking, it's still lit. You can understand what's going on. The plot is coherent. Guy fed up with system, guy destroys system. That's simple. And then you just, take, that actor, Brendan, and throw some guns in his hands. Jessica wasn't even going to mention Far Cry. All right. So, and then you basically take the actor, Brendan Fletcher, throw some guns in his hands, mow down everybody. That's a pretty simple fucking premise.
I fucking hate everybody anyway. It's great. I'm going to pretend like I'm killing them and make money doing it. It was a fantastic role. You got lucky.
And I think, there you go. I mean, I watched Rampage 3, where he says he's going to go take on DC and kill the president and shit. There's a scene when he literally puts a lawn chair in an alleyway and just sits down with like 2 fucking M4s, and then just guns people down as they walk by. Like a person will jog by, bam, shoots him dead, grabs their body, drags it into the alley, sits down, waits for the next one, and he does this for like 15 minutes. It's simple to understand. There's nothing complex about it. It's American rage against the system. It's a rage against the machine. Revolution is in our blood. It's what our country is founded on. So yeah, I get that. I think that's why those are his most successful films. It's a full trilogy, goes from beginning to end, and it made him the most money. So it's his only real successful films. But I never thought of it in the respect that it was actually better than Bruiser, because I have such towering respect for George Romero, and I always look deeper into his films. When I'm watching his movies, I always look for what he's trying to say. And given his relationship with studio films, he didn't like big budgets. He didn't like working for a studio. He liked small budgets, and he liked to be able to control the production because it was his vision. And then he got so maybe I went into it with the wrong bias. Maybe I was biased. I went in, I was like, Bruiser's going to be excellent because this is Romero. Maybe I was wrong. Fuck. I'm having a crisis of conscience right now.
I think tonight is actually just a glitch in the Matrix.
Holy shit. Mandeville says, Jessica says, did you see Far Cry? My gosh, such a massive smelly turd. It was a massive smelly turd. Mandeville says, Week in Horror. Uwe Boll just wanted to start a boxing career and used his movie producer excuse to springboard off of. Absolutely. Plot hole. JL is about to add to the pile of shit on the outcome of this case.
I think this is a one-off. I think this is a fluke. I actually enjoyed Bruiser, but because I saw deeper things in Bruiser. Maybe I wanted to see them. I don't know. But I saw the reflection of George Romero in that character. He absolutely bristled working with studios, working with bigger people above him. He liked indie films. He liked working with one guy or working with a couple of guys that finance his project, and everybody can be in it. It can be fun making movies. He believed that studios took the fun out of movie making because they took something that was supposed to be fun that you could make money off of into a business when things are about the numbers. And he always thought that it was just no fun doing a studio picture because there's always someone like reminding you of the red line. Whereas he liked an indie picture where you don't worry about the red line because you probably crossed the red line 3 days into production.
Right.
Fuck it, we're still gonna goddamn do it. If we have to, send our cast and crew out there dressed as zombies to go and raise money off the street, who gives a fuck? Because that's the way he liked it. That's the way he liked it. It was a team family experience for him. So I kind of saw that in this. The loss of his identity, the loss of himself, and him fighting to get it back. Maybe it was just too much non-Romero. I don't know.
Put it that way. It sounds like you were looking for it so hard that you found it.
Maybe I did.
This is a crisis one. See, I was like, yeah, this movie was kind of whatever. Now you're like, but there's this whole deep subtext about Romero's feelings, and I mean, this movie was made too kind of like. It was one of those like vanilla in the middle movies between two of his good movies. And so I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Cause Dark Half was good. And what came after this one?
I think cause this was 2000, right?
Yeah. So it was Dark Half and then Land of the Dead.
Land of the Dead. Yeah. Would have been the next on the roster. Yeah. I don't know I don't know. This one just didn't do it for me.
Well, it happens sometimes. Sometimes one just doesn't click. I'm assuming, Eugene has either been hit by Dr. Freeze, or are you there? Oh, there he is.
That's a good look.
I still.
No, you're doing like a Max Headroom thing in like slow motion Max Headroom.
Like.
I'm Eugene.
Sunday.
Kids still just
I understand the deep vibe.
Deep in the.
I think you're breaking up really bad.
See, last time it was me. Every time I spoke, I broke it.
I don't know what I apologize. I'm not sure what Eugene was trying to say there.
I have given Eugene my god power.
What, to fuck up the stream?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I meant that in like fucking it up because you're so powerful, not like actually fucking up the stream. That came off real bad.
I meant that in a nice way. Thank you.
Oh, shucks. What happened to Alex? Did he get muted? Oh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hurry up, Eugene, before you die again.
Okay, so the main point I want to make is that the main point I want to make is.
Damn it! Damn it!
Like,
wow.
Make it a good
I'm sorry.
Ah! I had a point.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
I give up.
Jessica says jail defended you, Bull. Oh wow. So Jessica says jail defended you, Bull. Oh well. So with hating science, believing in God, hunting ghosts,
I
now
told you it
jail
was coming.
hates good films. Oh my God, Alex, what have you fucking done?
No, it's what did you do?
Whoa.
Mandela says that's what happens to a stream if you say. Mandela says that's what happens to a stream if you say Max Headroom. It's like mentioning Hamlet to a stage actor. I think you mean Macbeth.
Okay.
You said it.
I thought you were going to argue me on the
Max Hamlet.
No, you cannot say Macbeth in the theater. In the theater, you have to call it the Scottish play. But that's in the theater. You're actually on the stage because then you curse the stage.
This is the stage.
Take place. Here, it's okay. This is not theater, though.
It could be with all the fucking weird shit that's been going on tonight.
All the shenanigans.
I weep for my wife who's going to have to edit this shit. So, Jessica says his camera's breaking up, but I can hear him. I don't know what's going on.
It's my internet.
With that fucking hell. Let's you know what? Let's do the fucking CTA because it's past 10. Let's do the fucking CTA
before the whole
thing
crashes.
Before the nuclears.
Listen, we got
before the
19 people
nuclear
here
strike
watching.
hits.
Thank you so much for dealing with this shit.
for hanging in.
Everybody loves a train wreck.
Oh my god! I promise you this will.
Hey,
I promise you this will not be an issue. We had a whole. I was going to jump to the CTA. We had a whole thing about the terrifying power of anonymity that we were going to talk about, and how it kind of like segues to what we deal with on the internet on an almost daily basis. People using their anonymity to do really, really horrible fucking things, which is in essence what the mask does in Bruiser. The mask gives him the anonymity, which allows him to dissociate in order to commit the heinous acts that he does when he's murdering people all over the place, because he's not himself. And then at the end, he gets his face back. So and that's where I was going to go with that, was kind of like talking about that, but I fear that Eugene looks like he's doing okay.
I'm still here.
No, I said his fucking name. I said his name. He was talking to the end. I was like, "Fuck off." I think your internet hates you tonight, dude.
It does.
And he's gone.
Oh my god! His voice is so powerful. It's so strong that his net cannot fucking handle it. He opens his mouth and it's just like the
I
word
told
of
you
God.
that's what.
Okay, it's like every time Eugene opens his mouth, it's like opening up the fucking Ark of the Covenant, and it just blasts his fucking internet into the fucking into the nether region.
There's something with the frequency of his voice.
Keep your eyes shut.
Oh God, we're gonna kill him.
Mortals can't handle the voice of God. We went through 14 Adams before we figured that out.
Oh shit! But yeah, okay. So we can digress on that. Okay, let me ask this, Johnny. You happen to be you're running back for us, so let me get your opinion as well. Anonymity on the internet. Okay, Bruiser, I think it didn't intend for this because obviously in 2000 it wasn't what it is now. 21 years.
The internet.
Later. Okay, so
it was probably easier to keep your.
To the degree
yeah, it was probably easier
now.
to keep your anonymity on the internet back then.
This is probably also true. Yeah, with the terrifying power of anonymity. People using their anonymity in order to justify terrible things because they're able to dissociate from the reality of what they're doing, because there isn't a real person there, or they realize they're not themselves, and what the effect that has had. I think maybe Bruiser was an unintentional kind of harbinger of what was to come.
We lost Johnny now.
No, I'm still here. Nope, Johnny's still here. I heard everything JL said. I'm just processing all the words.
Like what a fucking Apple II?
Going with anonymity is I can't.
all I saw was the manta ray from Finding Nemo. All right, kid, don't hurt.
All right, don't hurt yourself, kid.
I know. The two dads in the room understand that
all day.
Shit. All right, kid, don't hurt.
So with hiding your identity. I mean, I think that we see it most with comments when you're looking at, like, say, YouTube creators like us on any social media platform. Anybody who's a content creator, you get some of the most heinous and brutal messages, and women that get like all kinds of unsolicited like dick pics and stuff like that, and and these rude comments and just horrible things. I know a couple of streamers and stuff that have to deal with it, and it's just because it's a random person.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's a random. He even has a picture of your face, and you'll have somebody will tell you, "Eat shit and die. I want you to go kill yourself," and then you click on their profile, and they're like a father of
They got 3
3,
kids,
and they
yeah,
come from a
exactly.
Christian household, and they work a nice like white collar job, and it's like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah,
the
well,
internet.
it's because you're going to get in their face. They're not going to do anything. Actually, I got an example of that. I was working on a house close by to where I live, and the couple that lived there, the wife, she's a Instagram influencer with thousands and thousands, if not 100,000 followers, and they have an issue with those types of threats, and threats that were so credible that they had to up their security. They had to call the police one time because there was someone lurking outside of their house. And so it's, when you're on the internet, there's a lot of people that talk shit, but you don't know which ones are going to follow through with it. You don't know these people in real life. You can't, sit face to face with them. And when you do come face to face with them, it could be a very bad situation. Yeah. So it is absolutely terrifying. And especially like you said, like us, we're on here doing this, and it's not something we ever thought we'd have to be doing, is like, making sure that it's like, all right, don't put too much out there, make sure everything's locked up tight, because it could just, you could get that message one day and it weighs on somebody so much. I've seen it happen where people are like, yeah, whatever, they're just talking shit. But at the back of your mind, you're like, well, are they? Is that something that I'm going to have to worry about in the future?
Yeah, they had that one singer who she was on The Voice, and then she was doing a show, and a fan went up and shot and killed her.
That was
doing like a sign.
like
Christine something.
Christina Grimmie.
Yeah, Christina Grimmie.
Yeah.
So she was just signing autographs for like a meet and greet backstage, and the guy walked up and just shot her because he was just obsessed with her. And then he ended up he got in a fight with her brother, tried to wrestle the gun. He's able to manage the gun, and he shot himself.
Oh.
And stuff like that's scary. That's just one person. That's it.
Yeah. That buffer zone of the internet that protects people, you're not having to show your face, not no one knows who you really are, what you really could be. But Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in 1996, the very first season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, made a comment to that when Willow took an online boyfriend in 1996. She's chatting with this guy. She really, really likes him. His name is Malcolm, and he's so great. And the funniest line, he could be a circus freak. He probably is a circus freak. Shit like that, like it could be anybody. No. And then that was mid 90s. And so here we are, 2000. This is it was 4 years later, and the advent of the internet, people and anonymously doing things because they can be whoever they want on the internet. But that could grow into really, really scary proportions. The more people dissociate, the more they enjoy their online persona more than they enjoy their real persona. And I think Bruiser was kind of a hallmark of that, in the sense of individuals losing their power and realizing that they've lost so much of themselves that they don't know who they are anymore. So they have no identity. Right. They feel anonymous. And therefore, they disassociate from themselves. It makes it all the better and all the scarier.
Power. I could go on to Facebook, create a profile, and be whoever the fuck I wanted to be. And I could make that person as powerful as I wanted. Mm-hmm. And I could see how that could bleed over and get into your head. And I guess that. So are you saying this film was like ahead of its time? Do you think they could redo something like this now, but with it would still, I think it would still be boring because it's like it's dangers that we're all aware of and it's all stuff that we know about, but I don't know.
You would have to do something different with it because maybe like maybe something a little bit more widespread, maybe something a little bit more internet based.
I never saw that one movie called Unfriended. Was that kind of the same?
And the idea is yes, that the kind of social chasm that the internet creates for us. That kind of I'm talking to you from a screen, so people can get the wrong intentions, people with the wrong ideas and everything because we don't have the social cues and body language in order to pick up on, and so people can get unhealthy attachments. They can see things that they that they want to see whatever they want to see because they're not getting the right social cues because it's such a limited set. It's really, really creepy stuff.
And like you feel like it's easy to feel like you know somebody because let's say they post a picture every day and they have some comments in their stories.
Yeah.
I know this person so well now, and people get fixated on that when in actuality you experience 1% of their lives. I mean, really, 1%.
Yeah.
You don't know who they are behind that. I love that quote from Anna Kendrick, where she's like, "You can research all the stuff you want to know about. No one truly knows me."
Yeah. Nobody will ever know me. Just kidding. If you want to hang out and grab a beer, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Anna Kendrick, we would love to have you on the show.
And remember, for all you Eugene thirsters out there, he's available. Amateur 24/7.
Email me at
Kendrick.
weekendhorror@gmail.com.
Let's see here. Anna Kendrick contact information. Here we are.
Eugene, you see, women, they pay him for pleasure.
If I work something out to get Anna Kendrick on the show, that's it. I'll be done for the rest of the year working. She's done. That's it.
Nope, Anna Kendrick. She's gonna embarrass us. All right, so the CTA that we had in mind, the call to action we had here was for everybody in the audience. George Romero, we're all big fans of him. We all love him to death. Rest in peace, dude. But we got some fantastic films throughout his career. What are your guys' favorite non-dead Romero films? So the films that did not center around the living dead. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, Land of the Dead. So none of the dead films. Set those aside. Movies like The Dark Half, Bruiser, Monkey Shines. Any of those. What are your favorites of those? Let us know in the comments below, or here in the live chat, or shoot us an email. We can
just don't show up at our houses
for Allie
with the information you got off the internet.
I mean, you can show up at my house. That's cool.
Johnny will feed you. He's badass like that.
I mean, I cook some good food. That's all I'm saying.
Man Devil says creep. Man Devil says creep.
That was gonna be my answer.
Hell, fucking yes. Sarcasm says, I'm a huge Lovecraftian fan. I promise the plug worked. Nice. I actually really enjoyed Monkey Shines. Monkey Shines was creepy as hell. The idea, I think it's because I kind of have a scary idea of being paralyzed, of losing ability, of losing the ability of my body. The idea of that is very, very scary to me. Being that sense of loss of control, the loss of power. It just that freaks me out. It really is weird.
So when do you want to have Anna Kendrick on?
Oh, right. So Alex,
Next week.
Anna Kendrick is not going to be on the show.
I asked you when you wanted her on.
No, next.
March 24th.
March.
That's what I was thinking.
It's not going to
Reach
happen.
for the stars, even if you
gotta believe.
this place has no oxygen.
March. Oh yeah, sure. March 24th. Why not? Why the fuck not? Go for it. We're actually going to be announcing that we're actually be doing a little bit of a change for everybody in the show for everybody on the live chat who follows us. We do our bloodbaths typically the second week of the month, and we do our after darks the third week of the month. So what we're planning on doing is we would like to get some larger names on, but we'd like to be able to pay more attention to them. So what we're going to do, I'm always a little wary about putting the onus of watching movies on our live guests. So what we're going to do is starting this month, the After Dark will still be going out to our patrons. You'll still get access to it for all of our patrons and everybody who listens on podcasts a month later. Patrons get early access to all of that. But our After Darks are going to be industry guests only. Those are the individuals that we're going to sit down and talk with, the people who are involved in the industry, who do stuff, actors, directors, writers, producers. Because I just want to talk to them. I want to have roundtables with these people. I don't want to sit there and call them and say, "Hey, you got to watch movies to be on the show." That seems not very good, not very nice to me, and puts a little too much on. They might not have the time, and I don't want to run into that. So we're going to keep our industry guests to the After Dark only. And then we're going to make the special guest episodes, which is the third week of every month, are going to be our abattoirs. So every third episode is going to be an abattoir. We're going to bring a YouTuber on who does not watch horror movies,
who has no experience with horror films or a minimal experience with horror films and has not seen some of the shit that we've seen. And we're going to put them through the ringer. The next one is going to be Crafty Keela. Crafty Keela will be on the Weekend Horror Abattoir this month. She already has the movies and she's already watching them. I cannot wait to get her take. It's going to be hilarious. But this is going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to make this slight change where After Dark will be our special guest. Our patrons will get early access to that. And of course, the people who listen to us on Anchor and everybody else are going to get that a month later. So I think this would be a better setup, and you guys will get more out of Weekend Horror. Plus, we get to put more newbies through the ringer by making them watch really scary, really scary movies. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Or we're going to fuck a lot of people up. Who knows?
So
we might have somebody peek
yes.
at some point.
Charlie Welch says, show Human Centipede to that vegan TikTok skeleton chick. I know who you're talking about. I think that would be funny. I'd rather film her reaction to it. That'll be good. Alex, we have some birthdays.
Transition smooth. All right. We'd like to take a moment to wish happy birthday to director Federico Alvarez, Fede Alvarez, for those who know him, in the industry. February 9th, 1978, which would make him 42, 43? 43.
43?
Wow.
No, 40,
43.
42. Oh, yeah, 43.
Jesus Christ.
It's glitch in the Matrix. And also, the legendary Christina Ricci, February 12th, 1980. I did not realize she was only born in 80.
And she's just a few months older than I am.
And
does not look it at all.
No, not at all.
I liked her in that movie Black Snake Moan.
Oh,
which one?
Black Snake Moan.
Yeah.
Not
because she's naked. Not because she's naked.
Shh, don't spoil it for me.
Anyways, and then we're gonna remember character actor Miguel Ferrer, February 7th, 1955, and passed away January 19th, 2017.
People might remember Miguel from RoboCop, his first big film.
Bitches leave.
His breakthrough role.
That was his line.
That wasn't his line, but yeah. But yep, and of course, a number. He was in the Night Flyer, Stephen King adaptation. He had a major role in the Stephen King adaptation of The Stand, the miniseries. I believe he had a major role on the show Crossing Jordan for a time. But he was, just known for playing, gruff, dark characters, usually heavy cops, or detectives like this. But Twin Peaks, absolutely. Twin Peaks, they did a lot of work with David Lynch. An absolute fantastic character actor. Loved everything he did. I love what he brought to a role. He's always, good energy, whether he was on a show like, whether it was Twin Peaks or he was making an appearance on a show like Psych. Where even in a slapstick comedy like that, he still really brings the gravitas. So I enjoyed everything he did, and it was a shame when he passed away. Especially he was so sudden, because I know he passed away from cancer, and it was a hard and short fight, unfortunately. But man, he left a huge body of work. So if you get the chance to check out any of his movies, I highly recommend it. He's a fantastic actor. Man, I was just thinking about some of his best performances, and I miss it.
Yeah, it was rough. It was very. Sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know. Are we touching any of Fede Alvarez?
All right, so I don't know.
Evil Dead and moving on.
Well, I mean, he's only got 2 movies out, and unfortunately, we just lost Eugene. So, I think it's time for the. I think he's in and out, man. I don't know what's going on.
That's what she said.
I'll jump on it just to say. Yeah, that's what Spacey said. So we'll go ahead and just drop this. The trivia question. Everybody's looking for the trivia question because everybody wants the trivia question. We are giving away another limited edition Weekend Horror t-shirt, t-shirt number 2. I love this shirt. I want more of it out in the world, and I will give them away because they're fucking amazing. Congratulations to our last 2 winners. It was I wrote your names down because I take notes. I'm professional and shit. Commander Darklight and Charlie Welch, who both landed themselves limited edition Week in Horror shirts. Those should be coming to you soon. Here we have another one. Trivia question for tonight. Hope you guys are paying attention. Hope you have been paying attention. Mike Raptor, bitches leave, is what Jessica says. Every Beardsman stream. Yes, she is. And I saw that, Jessica, when you were talking about you have a very difficult job, 168 hours of work. It's very difficult being a full-time accountant. Agreed. Nice. It is. She's hardcore. So everybody's ready. Trivia question for tonight. Okay? The trivia question is, who was the first actor to ever portray the serial killer Hannibal Lecter on film?
I know this one.
Of course you do.
I knew this one before the script, sir.
Also true. Yeah, you were in on the breakdown, and it was like, and you said it right off. So I'll ask again: who was the first actor to ever portray the serial killer Hannibal Lecter on film? First one in the comment. Oh, hey, look, and Johnny put the image of our new shirt up there. That's the artwork that goes on the new shirt. That's on the new limited edition shirt. I will ship you one of these for free. It's so freaking cool. So first one in the chat.
Man Devil is a winner.
Who was the first actor?
Man Devil is a winner.
Man Devil is the winner. Man Devil is the micro after PhD, Tony. I could believe that shit. Hey, Chris Derby.
That would be a dream of mine come true, to see Andy Griffith as Hannibal Lecter.
That would be amazing. Oh, it's too bad something like fucking like Raymond Burr in like Apocalypse Now. Or some
you know
shit.
what?
Like
that's
Colonel
what I want to say. I want to see one of these deep fake people do the Andy Griffith as Hannibal Lecter, but they got to do the voice too.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Doing the theme song.
All right.
While he's cooking.
All right, Man Devil, congratulations! You have won a limited edition number 2 Week in Horror shirt. I hope you really dig it. We will ship that to you out immediately. Get your shipping info to us either via Discord, or you can email us at weekinhorror@gmail.com, or just message me on Discord if you catch me there, and we will get that shipped directly to you. This was a wild fucking episode. And I apologize for all of the chaos at the very beginning. It's things have been crazy. Obviously, internet problems all over the place. Everyone except for me, because I'm amazing. And me. This is how you do it, because I'm a fucking professional. And
I'm sorry.
That's how we do shit.
Voice destroys the internet.
Oh, and Johnny O. And Johnny O. and Johnny O helped. No, but super thanks to Super Johnny O for assisting us with saving our asses, ensuring that the back half, actually like the 75% of the rest of the stream, was able to run successfully. So we owe Johnny O, just like we owe him many times for saving our keisters. Thank you, dude. We appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right, that will bring thank you, yes, sir. And just thanks for the show, Week in Horror, and congrats, Man Devil. Can I get the email link here in chat? Absolutely. Thank you, Plothole, for dropping it in there. And Charlie Welch says, JL got that spirit net. I see what you fucking did there. And that brings another episode of Week in Horror to a close. Thank you all so much for joining us. And we truly hope that you enjoyed it as best you could. Visit us at weekinhorror.net, where you can find links to all of our episodes, our bios, our merch story, Teespring, and of course, enter your email for a permanent entry to win a mystery horror shirt every single month. For more horror entertainment, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and we are now on Instagram. Followers will get our daily splatter, a little bit of horror info every single day with a movie recommendation right to your feed. You never know what you may discover. And we really hope you enjoyed this new live format. I know we're still working out some of the bugs, but we'd love to get your feedback on anything, what you'd like to see, what changes that you'd like to might check out, or maybe the changes that we just announced. If you have any comments or feedback on that, let us know. And for updates on the show, hit the subscribe, hit the bell
smash that fucker like a zombie head, and you'll get all the latest from us. When we get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, we will have the community tab, and we will really be able to keep people informed as to what's going on. You know, it's a push. We want to get there. We're currently at 330. I think we're like 335. Slowly but surely, we'll grow it. You know, our daily
that's
social
what she
medias
said.
are going really, really strong. So hopefully it'll start, and hopefully those will start translating over here. So hopefully we will get there. So definitely hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. You know, fucking YouTube has been screwy lately. I don't fucking know. But hopefully we'll get there eventually. And of course, if you truly, truly, truly love what we do here, and you are able, or you would like to, and you're able to support the show, you can through our PayPal and our Patreon. The links will be in the description. We have patron tiers as low as $1 a month, lower than a cup of coffee or lower than your morning monster. Bonus and exclusive content and horror films every single month. Links to everything, including the Discord community where you can watch movies in our theater with us. Will all be in the description below. And of course, we also know the times are extremely tight. We know that we're in the midst of some really serious chaos out there. Things are fucking crazy. And as always, simply liking and sharing the show is the best way you could possibly support us. It really, really is. Getting our name out there into your local horror community makes it all the better. So we love you guys for it. So we appreciate every single one of you for coming out and joining us. Every single one of you out there who has come out to laugh at our foibles and maybe get some good horror movie recommendations. We love you guys. As always, I'm JL.
I'm Alex.
Holy shit.
I didn't know if he was coming in or not.
And I'm the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to it. Anyway, no, thank you again, Johnny O, so much. Everybody, we will see you next week. And as always, stay scared.
All right, hang on 1 second, JL. Outro is playing.